Namaste. This is your weekly reading with me, the Queen of Cups Montreal. This week we're using the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck, exploring where you are in your spiritual journey and what you can expect next. At this point, I invite you to pick the crystal which resonates most with you. In the video description, you will find links to my social media, Etsy store for healing crystals, and my website to learn more about my spiritual services. You will also find timestamps that you can use to navigate to your chosen reading. Thank you for joining me. Love all and harm none. This includes yourself. Namaste.
Namaste, guys. Welcome, Amethyst group. As I mentioned, this is going to be a reading about your spiritual journey, where you are, what's going to come next, what things you can do to help improve the journey, and what message does Spirit have for you in terms of motivation and drive and encouragement. So, this is for, as I mentioned, the Amethyst group. Stay tuned. At the end, I always give you my healing crystals for the week ahead, or your healing crystals for the week ahead. So that if you purchase crystals or if you have crystals, you can always carry them, meditate with them. You can always go a little bit further with these crystals after you get your reading. So that's why I offer them, to give you guys some sort of support throughout this journey that pertains to the given reading. So position number 1 is, where am I on my spiritual journey? And this is a time that you should celebrate, be grateful, be joyous. You're at a good place. This is how I read it. You're at a good place in your journey. It should be celebrated, how far you've come, all that you've accomplished, where you're going, who you are. Celebrate yourself. Oftentimes we're always looking at, what more could I do? How much more healing do I need? How do I need to change? Instead, celebrate, enjoy, and be joyous in who you are and how far you've come. How often do you celebrate your growth? We don't do that enough. What's next on your spiritual journey? Letting go of the need to be right, letting go of struggling with people, finding peace within and without. If you guys watched readings in the past with me before, I talk often about the bison and the buffalo and how they're very spiritual animals because of their wisdom, their ability to provide for certain indigenous communities. And so here we have the bison, what I believe is a bison, and it's about tapping into your wisdom, to your ability to sustain yourself. You don't need to be right. You don't always have to have all the answers either. You know, this isn't just about not arguing with others or not needing to bicker with others. This is about saying, I don't have all the answers and I'm okay with that. So next you have to, not have to, it's such a harsh phrasing. Spirit is encouraging you to let go of the need to be right. Let go of the need to have all the answers too. I feel like already this is turning out to be a reading where it's saying, enjoy where you are, celebrate who you are. This is the phase you are in at your journey where you have to learn to appreciate how far you've come. And then the next step is saying, I don't have to have all the answers. And I think that ties into each other beautifully. What action needs to be taken? So, like you guys know, sometimes I shuffle on each draw, sometimes I don't, but right now I feel the urge to shuffle this one up. So what steps do you need to take in order to go forward on your spiritual journey, to remain on task and on your path? Shed old skin. I got this one just the other day for my birthday reading. You know, what action needs to be taken is shed skin, shed past baggage, shed old junk that we don't need, shed toxic relationships. You guys, I know I don't have to, I'm preaching to the choir. I don't have to tell you how much can be shed. Negative ruminations, old thought patterns, ancestral baggage, negative relationships, cord cuttings, like cut the ties to the past. Let go of the things you can't heal, the things you can't change. A snake doesn't need to be told when to shed its skin or how to shed its skin. It's something that happens naturally. So don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just know that setting the intention, I say this so much in every aspect of my work, setting the intention is enough. Just say, if you're watching the video right now and you're in a private place and you feel safe to say it, just say, I set the intention to release all that doesn't serve me. What is Spirit's inspiration for you? What does Spirit want to tell you to guide you on your journey? Release the old and rest. And I think that ties in so much to the intention you may have just made out loud or within. Release the old and rest. So Spirit wants you to know that you can have peace, you can have balance, you can be in a time of restful repose or reflection once you shed the old stuff. Sometimes old stuff, you know, I want to use a curse word for that because it's old stuff. Sometimes it makes us feel frenetic and frenzied and anxious, and we can't rest. We don't have the rest that we need. We're in inner turmoil, we're in mental turmoil. Spirit's telling you, once you release that old baggage, or the people that don't serve you, or the negative thought patterns, or that negative vision of self, or view of self, you can have some sort of peace. You can have greater peace. So I do feel like Spirit's calling you on your spiritual journey. You're in a place being called to enjoy, appreciate, reflect. You are being called forward to let go of being right, let go of having all the answers. And finally, you're being called to shed old skin so that you can be at peace. And lastly, once you release this old stuff, Spirit's telling you, take a rest, take a breather, be at peace, be at ease. You don't have to struggle anymore. Okay, so with that being said, I want you to get a crystal for healing trauma, which is Amazonite. I love that for you. I think you need to heal some trauma. We all have trauma that we need to heal. We all have stuff we need to heal. Celebrate the joys in life a little bit more. Citrine is great for that. Citrine or yellow calcite. Celebration, abundance, happiness. Get into some positive stones for solar plexus and sacral chakra. A great sacral stone is also carnelian. Okay, so I want you to enjoy it. I want you to be able to release and allow things to flow from you so that you can be at peace. I think your spiritual journey right now is calling you for greater peace, and I think we could all benefit with greater peace and release. Thanks for joining me, you guys. Stay safe. Always comment if this resonated with you, or if some parts didn't. If some parts did, let me know. Share it. And I'll see you again next week. Namaste, you guys. Namaste, Clear Quartz group. Thank you for joining me. As I mentioned in the intro, this is about your spiritual journey, where you are. And I feel like you were led to this reading today for a reason. And I feel that we can look at your path, your journey, where you are, where you're going. And then we close out with a little bit of message or uplifting from Spirit, from your guides. So I thought that would be a helpful kind of reading for us today. And this is once again the Clear Quartz group, Clear Quartz. And let's begin. So position number 1, where am I on my journey? Where are you on your spiritual journey, Clear Quartz group? Where are you? Let's take a look here. You're moving beyond ancestral patterns. You're moving beyond generational baggage. You're moving beyond even like messages and harmful messages, hurtful messages from your past, from your childhood. You're in a phase of moving past them. Good for you. I celebrate that with you, and I honor your journey. That's a really difficult journey to sometimes do, so you're working through it. So I feel like that's where you are. You're letting go of the junk, but you're also getting connected deeper to your guides, to ancestral wisdom, to ancient wisdom. But you're moving past the messages that maybe said you couldn't, or that were implanted generationally through cellular memory that you couldn't, or that you wouldn't be able to. So I applaud that. That's awesome. What is next for the Clear Quartz group on this journey? You guys know I just kind of shuffle as I feel spirit led to do so. What's next is shedding old skin. What's next is you gotta, and this is funny because it came up for the Amethyst group, you have to shed old stuff. I hate saying have to. It's kind of like I invite you, spirit invites you, I encourage you to shed old stuff, to let go. It's going to happen when it happens. Like it said, what's next? What's next? You're going to start letting go. Right now, you're in this healing phase of healing old patterns, ancestral baggage, generational sickness. You're healing that. Next, you're going to let it go. So first, we have to walk through it. We have to work through it before we can let it go. So that's the next step for you. I love when the reading flows so nicely together and just flows so nicely. So right now, my Clear Quartz group is moving beyond ancestral patterns or past patterns in their past or past lives. And the next step will be to shed it all. So you got to heal it before you can release it. What action needs to be taken by my Clear Quartz group in order to pursue their spiritual path or continue on their spiritual path? Here we have these same cards are coming up. This is meaningful. This is 2 cards now that the Amethyst group experienced. So what it says here, summer, bask in joy and light. But this is about more. This is about getting in community. This is about connecting with others. This is about finding your joy through self-preservation, through self-provision. It's about relying on community, but also celebrating yourself and celebrating how far you've come, celebrating where you are and who you are. So what action needs to be taken? I feel like you have to celebrate yourself more and celebrate how far you've come more. There's nothing wrong with celebrating the self. And as I told the Amethyst group, we don't celebrate our wins enough. Or maybe I'm projecting. I don't celebrate my wins enough. You know, how often, maybe you're the same. How often do you say, like, I have to work on this, or I'm working on this, I need to go towards that, that's the next thing I'm working on. But how often do you say, wow, look how far I've come, look how much I've grown, look how much I've accomplished. And I'm not talking about quantitative, like I got a raise or a degree. I'm talking about what I've accomplished on a deep spiritual level. Celebrate that. Celebrate yourself. What action needs to be taken place is you need to celebrate yourself and where you're at in this life, and the joys. Like, life is about enjoyment too. What is your inspiration from spirit? What is your message from spirit saying to you to give you motivation or drive or guidance on your journey? This is wild, you guys. This also took place in the Amethyst group, and I'm shuffling these cards. Your message from spirit is release, and then you'll have rest. So it's like your path is making sense. Right now you're working through ancestral stuff, past life stuff, things in the past of this life. Then the next step is going to be, sorry for dancing that card around. The next step is going to be shedding old skin and releasing. The action that you need to take place is celebrating how far you've come and who you are. And with that release, you'll have rest, you'll have peace, you'll have transformation. The crow is a sign of a symbol of transformation and growth. Okay, so you have a new moon here as well. So this is about transformation, growth, renewal, through allowing things to change, through allowing things to let go. I'm so excited for your path, Clear Quartz group. I think that you're going to have some peace of mind that you've been lacking or desiring, yearning for, like we all do. I'm drawn to this first. I want you to get some snowflake obsidian, because I feel like it'll help you let go of old habits, like, and habitual negative thought patterns, and just ways of relating. I want you to get some snowflake obsidian. I want you to get some malachite for healing and transformation, and celebrate. I want you to celebrate. Same thing as the last group. I want you to have a little fun and joy in your life. Get some citrine. Celebrate yourself, your life. Celebrate that you made a really good banana bread. Why is everybody making banana bread these days? Celebrate that. And I want you to find the reason to rejoice. Thanks for joining me, guys. I always encourage you to like and feel free to share. Comment below or on social media if this reading resonated, or tell me where it didn't work or maybe where it did. I love connecting with you guys. With every reading, I just send out so much positivity and light, and I hope you feel that. Have a great week, you guys. Namaste. Thanks again. Namaste, Sodalite group. Namaste, Sodalite group. Is this the stone you chose? Welcome. I'm glad you could join me today. So as I mentioned in the intro, I am doing a spiritual journey reading. It's a weekly reading, but it can really apply to any time. And that's how my readings are changing direction. In case you don't catch it this week, you can always have a message for later, next year, next month. It will still resonate. I believe that you were brought here to this reading no matter what time, for a reason. Spirit guided here. So I want to give you the messages that stand the test of time. So it's going to be a spiritual reading about your spiritual path, where you're going, where you're headed, what is next, and potentially a little spiritual message from spirit, motivation or inspiration. Where is the Sodalite group on in their journey? You're finding a lot of healing. You'll notice that there's the symbol of the new moon on her head. She's finding healing and transformation. I feel like you're connecting to your true self and your true purpose. You're connecting to the love within you and all around you. I feel like you're at a very holistic time, a time of rebirth and growth. You might even be focusing a lot of attention on nurturing others right now, going beyond yourself, or feeling really loved, like connecting with Mother Nature, with the universe, and that profound spiritual energy. Okay, so that's where you are. A very good place to be. I celebrate your search for love and grounding and transformation. The butterfly also symbolizes that, and the new moon symbolizes that. So I love that, and I love that you're focusing on love and healing. All right, so what is next for my Sodalite group? If you're in this Zen-like place, do you ever want to leave? That's the thing about spiritual paths. They ebb and they flow. Once we think we've figured things out, then a new challenge comes along. You're not doing anything wrong. You're actually doing just what you're supposed to. What is next? The trader. Exchange energy. The thing is that share some of yourself. I feel like you're kind of in this place where you're really getting in tune with yourself, that deep Mother Nature, Mother Earth energy, transformation, growth, development. You're really enjoying your spiritual life and your emotional life, and you're going within. Maybe it's time to share that. Can you see this? Maybe it's time to share that with other people, your growth and your insight, all this wonderful spiritual development that you're enjoying. Join a spiritual group online or in person. Speak to like-minded people. It's time to share that energy. So whatever your growth has been, or your path of healing has been, we all have one. Maybe it's time to share that with others. Get some feedback on where you're going, but also give them a little bit of help, because you've been where they are, or you have some insight into where they are. So what's next? I actually think you're going to be sharing more of yourself. All right. What action needs to be taken for my Sodalite group? What action do they need to take to get in that good vibration of the spiritual path, and alignment with the spiritual path? See, the great teacher, and I think that really corresponds to what's next. I actually think you're going to be learning a lot about sacred wisdom, ancient wisdom, I think that you're going to be connecting to ancient teachings. And I also feel, and whether you're really looking through the books and doing that, or you're just on your own personal journey of development, that's wrought with ancient wisdom in itself. Um, and I want you to really delve into what you've been learning and translate that into somebody you love or someone you know that could really benefit from learning that as well. I feel that you have something to share right now. I feel that you have something to learn, and sometimes through learning and the growth that we've enjoyed, we can also help people learn. Or even a retrospective on how far you've come, how much you've grown. Maybe that's going to help you learn even more. You know, it's time to take a step back and learn more and learn about how far you've come. And, you know, learn through spiritual experiences, but also through exchanging energy and ideas and lessons. What is your message from Spirit? What does Spirit want you to know in order to keep going, to be motivated, to have purpose and drive and intention? What does Spirit want my Sodalite group to know? The Sodalite group to know? Be joyful. I think that you've come a long way from what I'm seeing here. It's time to share it with others. And this card came up in the last two readings. I think that as a whole, we need to celebrate more. We've gone through a difficult time as a global community. And I think as a whole, we need to celebrate ourselves more. We need to celebrate life more. And it's okay to celebrate the wins. As I said in the last two readings, sometimes we get so caught up in like what's next and what do we have to learn next and who are we becoming and what do we need to work on, that we don't celebrate how far we've come. The sun's coming out, guys, just for you. So we don't celebrate how far we've come or all that we've accomplished. You know, so celebrate that. I think that that's your message from Spirit, is saying you've come a long way, and be joyous in that. I love that the sun's coming out right now. It's giving me the tinglies. um, Celebrate yourself and your joys and your successes and who you are right in this moment, not who you're going to become. I think that's your message from Spirit. You're worth celebrating. Life is worth celebrating. All right. How do we exchange energies? I feel like you need some sacred crystals here, like some heavy duty energy. I want you to amplify the good vibes that you're having with the Mother Earth energy with some selenite. Amplify that. Exchange it. Amplify the good. You're in a good place. Keep amplifying the good until it just overshadows the negative. This card came up for everyone, so I'm going to give you the same kind of vibe. I want you to celebrate. Look for more positivity and optimism with your yellow stones, calcite, yellow calcite, citrine. I want you to celebrate and find more reasons to be joyful and optimistic and happy. Thank you for joining me, you guys. Please comment, like, or share if you feel so inclined. I always come with a new reading, so I look forward to seeing you again next week. That's it. Stay safe, stay sane, and I always send out a big heaping of loving energy with every reading, so I hope you feel that here today.